Here's the thing about tech, and here's the thing that annoys me about like people who talk about tech as if it's going to take over. Like they're like, "Oh, ChatGPT, it's gonna take your job."
Right.
Blah blah blah. It's like you have no idea how many times a day software fails. Or if you did, if you like kept the metrics on it, you'd realize we're far away from any of that. We're real.
Right.
Like AI is really stupid.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. Like AI is like if you my friends who are PhDs in this stuff, they're like, yeah, no, most AI is not actually even that functional. So this concern that people have is like, I don't know where it comes from. But anyways, welcome to Raisin Bread Podcast. I'm gonna do the intro, even though Tyler never edits it in. Joining me today is the illustrious, the beautiful, the magnificent, some might even say enigmatic, Derek Smith. Welcome, Derek, as always. Hi. And it's just hello. Hello. I mean, we've been talking about we've been talking about a couple different things, but Derek was going off on quarterbacks, and I thought that was funny.
I think quarterbacks are stupid.
How's your week been, buddy?
It's going all right.
Let's get into it. Yeah,
I got new medicine. Yeah, I got medicine.
Yep,
which is great. There's an Adderall shortage in America, or more places. I don't know, but yeah, got to have a conversation with a pharmacist. And I found out they are not happy about it at all. They're really upset when people want to talk to them at all, because I had missed my last 2 prescriptions, and they didn't have the stuff. And I was like, "Can I talk to you about it?" And he's like, "I don't know where it is. I don't know. Just go home."
Why? Wait, why is it?
You're mad?
Like, I get where that. Yeah, but like, why? You didn't do anything. Like,
I know he's not arguing with me. He's arguing with everybody he's argued with up until this point. Like, he's still arguing because everybody is arguing with him. But I just asked him a couple questions. He calmed down. Yes. He told me that they had other medicine. I found out that apparently I've been paying for great health insurance and haven't used it once. I've been paying a huge amount of my check every week for health insurance, haven't used it. And it's about to expire, which is great. Feels amazing. Yeah. I've got like 3 weeks. So I'm scheduling as many doctor's appointments in the next 3 weeks so that I can see all these people. I was like, I didn't know I could see people. I'm going to get my eyes checked. I'm going to get my teeth checked. I'm going to get everything checked.
When this thing becomes bigger, the first thing we're getting you is an assistant. It'll change your life.
Yeah.
As a guy who suffers from ADHD, who has his own assistant, I mean, Anna knows. Shout out to Anna. If it wasn't for Anna, I'd be like, I don't even talk to people anymore. Like, people will call me and they'll be like, "Hey, we'd like to Anna," and I just look for her immediately because I'm a child, and she just she handles all of that because I do the same shit.
I just can't get because if I'm going to get into doing this, I'm going to take way too long. I'm going to care too much about it. But with my new medicine, it helped me a lot. I was looking for an eye doctor, and I was like, what's the best eye doctor? And I'm like, you know what? I bet all of the eye doctors can do what I'm trying to do. I don't need the top eye doctor just to give me a vision test. I bet they can all pretty much handle that.
I think they can nail that one. Why don't we do that? I mean, so here's the thing. This is something I really connect with you on, is like this obsessiveness, and it permeates a pigeon. Sorry, I got distracted. We're going to deal with you later. I'm on the 15th floor. You shouldn't be here. But like, why do you think we do that? Like this weird obsession thing that everyone I know with ADHD does.
I think it's because when you have ADD or ADHD, a lot of people like to focus on the not having any kind of attention. You have an attention deficit, is what they call it, but it's just actually a real imbalance. You either have you're either not paying attention, or you are all the way. You are only focusing on this, and that's it. Those are the only modes you have. Yeah. You're hyper focused, and when you're hyper focused, I mean, that's the only way to. I feel like that's the only way to get your brain off, to get that dopamine you want. Yeah, I gotta clean it. I gotta clean it better than it's ever been cleaned. Otherwise, why am I even doing this? It's like there's no satisfaction.
And the thing is that's crazy is that people. This is why, like, you on the first podcast you were in, you were on with us. Like you know, Ben was a little skeptical. He's like, "But what is ADD?" And I was like, "No, it's a thing. It is very It is. It's real. He has it. Yeah. Whatever it is, like you could. For me, I'm inattentive. Like I'm here, but I'm not. Is the thing. Like people will be talking to me, and I'll be like, solve for X for a math problem that doesn't matter at all. In the in the I'm like, but I'm obsessed over it. Right. I'm like, why haven't I figured this problem out? It's great for engineering.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing for engineering.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Right. Like you're just like, I need to figure this out. But for life, right? Yeah. Go on.
Oh, I said there was a book that I was reading. It's called like Deep Work. The guy was like, you should do deep work. And
yes,
as I was reading, I was like, this person has attention deficit disorder. They're saying like, oh, you just kind of lock yourself away and you just really drill down into one thing for a long time. And then you step back and it's just these huge deep dives. That's how you get to be successful. I was like, no, that's not true. I'm pretty sure you wrote this book, but you didn't sell this book. Somebody else sold this book. You got a bunch of other people that don't act like that, and they were able to get this book out.
Right.
So.
Right. But I guess that's the superpower, right? Like that's the thing that like, I don't know. That's like, I had a manager back in the day who used to advocate for me all the time. Because people will be like, well, it's like he gets his code in at really weird time. Like it's good work. Like it's really great work. It's just weird when when it comes in.
Oh yeah.
It's like 3:30 a.m. Basil pushed, like 1,000 lines of code up. And it's all good. It's all solid work. We just don't understand.
Right.
And my manager.
Yeah, like why would he be up?
My manager at the time, Right. Go on.
I know. It's like, why would he push it at that time? Well, is he okay? Why is he up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. And my manager, who before he went into tech, he was a neuroscientist, like who specialized in ADHD. Mm-hmm. The perfect manager for, and he was like, that's just how these people are. So, he's delivering, he's delivering, right? So, okay, there's no problem.
Leave him alone.
I personally don't care. Yeah. Let him do what he needs to do.
Does it bother anybody?
I
love that. He knows that's how he is. Just stop trying to fix that.
Yeah.
Because trying to make you act like somebody else will be a failure. Like it just will not work.
Yeah.
I heard about some. It was like a town in Europe that like caters to people with mental disorders, and like what is it like? This person came in. They have some kind of obsessive compulsive. They like twist the buttons off their shirt, and the people they're living with, they sew the buttons back onto a shirt every day. And the person interviewing was like, "Why don't you just get something so they can't twist the things off?" And like, we don't want to do that because putting the buttons back on is pretty easy. He could do something else, and he's gonna do it. He could tear the shirt. He could just rip the shirt off, and I don't want to fix the shirt. No.
Right. Right. That's interesting. That's so interesting. Yeah, because like at a certain point, where that's you bring up like an interesting point, which is like, where's the line at? Like, what where does it become sort of cumbersome for the people around you, and where is it like just enough work? Like these people, I'm presuming they're Scandinavian because this is how Scandinavians think.
It could be.
Some people are like,
it might be.
Yeah, well, like to me, I mean, it's like this sounds like how Norwegians think. They're like, it's actually way more work for us to like just get him like a shirt he can't mess with. So it might be just more effective just from a cost benefit analysis if we just let him rip the buttons off. and that's kind of brilliant. Americans don't think that way at all. Right. which is interesting. I got lucky. Like this guy was he had a PhD. He was very overqualified. I have no idea why he was there, but he had a PhD in neuroscience, and he'd observed me, and he was like, well, he gets his work in on time. He just does it. Mm-hmm. He just has a weird way of doing it, and he fixes other people's code, which no one else is doing. So what's the what's the pros, the issue? It takes a certain kind of thinker. It takes a certain level of thinking.
I think a lot of people with ADD run into things like because we just I get asked a lot like, how long is this going to take? And my answer is always I'm baffled when people ask me that, because I'm like, I don't know. I can't predict the future. I'm not a fortune teller. I've never done this before.
Right.
Nobody's ever done this before. I don't know how long it will take to do something that's never been done. You know how long it'll take from the time of Earth beginning to now? Still hasn't been done. So, an hour or 3 weeks, not really that big a deal.
Yeah, man. There's what was it in engineering? There's a saying in engineering that if there's is it two things that are tough in engineering, or three things? There's like three things that are incredibly difficult in engineering: naming variables, caching, which is this whole other thing, and then just time estimates. Like the best engineers I know, they're just the best engineers I know. What they do is they think to themselves, how long do I think it's going to take, and then they multiply it by 3 to 4x, and that's what they tell their customers. Like it's like it's like, I think it'll take 3 months. I'm going to tell them a year.
Right.
So
I mean, it's because I don't know. Like I used to get in trouble, like being on time. Like I used to have a job that we needed to be there at 9. We needed to be there at 9.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: at 9, we had a meeting where everybody sat down at a table and said, "How did everybody do yesterday? Was everybody feeling all right?" And people are making coffee, buttering toast, walking around for about 15 solid minutes, and just being like, "Oh yeah, okay. Well, today we might do this or we might do that. Okay, good job, team. 15 minutes for that." If I show up 3 minutes late into that, then it's just, Derek, how could you be so late? Like, that really fucked us up. I was like, was Rob unable to butter the toast before I came in? Is that what we were waiting for? No, it wasn't a big deal, but it feels like a big deal because that number is there at the end of the day. 9:03. Oh, Derek messed us up. No, I stayed 2 hours late, but that doesn't matter. Nobody's looking at that number. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's the weird. It's almost like a tidying up of like. Is it like a mental thing? Yeah. Why do we need to see that 0-0?
I think so.
You know,
it just makes you feel good. It's like a guarantee on a box. Just makes you feel good.
You know,
who
isn't tidying up anymore? You know who isn't tidying up anymore? This is the best transition I've ever done.
Okay.
Ever that's been done by anyone. Marie Kondo has recently.
Oh yeah.
This is the thing I've been reading about. It's very funny to me that she does not clean her shit up anymore, and she's given up on tidying, and her home's a mess.
Well, she's rich now, right?
You know, I win. That's also true. That's true, actually. Is she even is she cleaning even up over what is she talking about?
What? Okay, I haven't heard about this at all. All right. So what's the story? Marie Kondo, she just admitted she's like, I'm not cleaning shit up anymore. And rich people don't clean.
She just said that's what I'm thinking. Also, she's Japanese. I don't know if you know Japanese people. Yeah. But their sense of she is hers I do. I have been intimate with Japanese folk, and let me tell you something. Their definition of clean is not the same as a human being who has things to do. Right? It is. It's like it is.
Would you say it's hyper-focused?
It is sociopathic. It is suicide.
Sociopathic, okay.
In a Japanese home. Yeah. It is
okay.
It is rough. So I don't know what her definition of clean is. It could be anything. It could be, hey, my kids, because she just had a bunch of kids. I guess she got another kid recently, which I get. By the way, nothing wrong with if your place is a mess and it's because you have kids. Like that's fine.
Right.
You got kids. Yeah, but
kids are no good at cleaning.
But yeah, she's like, yeah, I got. Kids are walking little incubators, is what they are. They are just
they're making a mess. They're throwing up, sneezing, touching things. I mean,
right? They're just
terrible.
They're cleaning. They're destroying things both for you in the physical realm, but also in the social realm. I remember one time I was at my buddy's house, a really good friend, love him to death. Shout out to Richard. And the first time I met his daughter. One of his daughters. I had met his daughters multiple times, but they were children. They were like babies. But the first time I met his daughter, when she was like sort of sentient, right? She said to me, "Hey, did you know that you're older than me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a sense of that."
Yeah.
And then she said, "That means you're closer to death than I am." And I was like, yeah, it's 100% true.
Possibly.
Meanwhile, her mom's in the back.
Not 100.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not 100% true. I've done the research on it. It's not 100%. It's a good chance. I feel like it's a good chance. Unfortunately, not 100%.
Like that would be the worst if I just leaned in and was like, "That's what you fucking think, sweetheart."
Yeah.
Like no, like that would have been.
You want to bet? You want to bet?
You're gonna have a crack habit. No, I just kids just destroy everything. So I got nothing against her, but like, come on, you sold a #1 New York Times bestseller. How much cleaning are you doing, bro?
Right.
I'm not a #1 New York Times bestseller, best-selling author. I don't clean anything. So what are you talking about? Like, what's going on here?
I read that book.
So
I read that book. And
how did it work out for you?
I threw some crap away. I've still got a lot of crap I don't need. You know what really helped clean things up? Depression. That's when you can really just purge everything. Really deep depression can help you just decide that nothing matters and you can just throw it all away. I wish I hadn't done that because I threw away a lot of stuff I've rebought, but it did cut down on the number of boxes I had to move, which is nice. Moving sucks.
Bro, that is moving does suck. That is horrifyingly true and relatable content.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of things due to the depression. I don't what is it? You're just like, I don't care anymore. It could just disappear into the sea.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you realize like actually that was really expensive. Why did I let go of that?
Why did I give away woodworking tools? Good job. That was a lot. That was $4,000 of stuff that I collected.
Jesus.
Now I want to make one thing, and I got to buy $4,000 worth of stuff back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's again. Shout out to Anna for keeping my shit organized and finding someone who will keep it organized for me, because I would be straight up in that mess.
Right.
My land. Go on.
Oh no, I'm just saying. My deepest appreciation is for Anna, and everyone like Anna.
Yeah, she's made me. She does. She really does. It's made me question almost whether if I even like need a wife. I know that's crazy. I'm like I have a maid. I have a. I know this is gonna sound awful, but I have a maid, and she cleans and she cooks, and then I have an assistant, and she like organizes everything for me, and then now I've wondered to myself, all that I like, the only reason why I want a relationship is for companionship, and I don't really like most people. So that's kind of like, it's made me wonder, like, the only reason I saw a relationship was so I could have an assistant.
If so,
sorry. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, not all relationships end with a maid, an assistant, and a cook. There are a lot of women and men out there that are not. They can't do any of those things. So, yeah, if you don't like the companionship, this is great. This is very freeing. You could just all of that time just cut out.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried. I try it, but it's like, bro, I don't know. This is a me problem, as most problems are. It's probably something wrong with me, but like the whole time I'm just like I try, like my assistant Anna is always trying to get me on dates. She's like we'll go to the mall, right? And she'll, because I'll need to go to the Apple store, or I'll need to buy some tech for work or what have you, right? Or for the podcast, and we'll go, and she'll go like, oh, there's a nice store. We should go buy like clothing for you so you can go on a date, and I don't I'm like, what did you say? Like, I'm on the elevator, I'm on the escalator already. I can't hear you. I'm so far up already. You know, you'll have to come up to me now so you can say it, whatever you were saying again. Oh, but the Apple Store is right there. So we're already here. And, and she hasn't seen through it yet. She hasn't seen through it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't want to go. I don't know what it is. I don't want to I don't know if I've reached an age. The worst part is I've told you this before. Like I've reached like a dad age. I told you this. Like, I'm walking around the house looking for the remote, angry about just just things I shouldn't be angry about. Why isn't the internet working? Who touched the air conditioner? This is to my own staff. These people aren't my children. These aren't my kids. And I'm just like, no. And I'm like, I'm just like, do I need to like adopt a kid? Or I'm watching shows like we've talked about this before. I'm watching Pedro Pascal just be a dad in different universes. That's like that's my viewership now. It's like, okay, he's the dad of a little alien kid. I'm gonna watch that. He's the dad of a little girl I'm gonna watch that. I'm watching anime about guys who used to be yakuza and who are now house husbands now, and they like focus on cleaning and cooking. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening with me right now? I don't understand it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's one thing. I would warn against becoming a dad, because becoming a dad makes you so vulnerable, or that because you're going to put all your love into this child and just try to raise them. And then when they're like 15, they're going to be like, you're embarrassing me. I hate when you're around me because my friends make fun of you. And you will just be like, I can't believe you stabbed me in the heart so much. You type on your computer because you suck.
Why don't you just go on. Go.
I don't know. I mean, they just hurt you.
Why don't you just
people who can hurt you?
Yeah.
The only people that can hurt you,
I don't know about that.
The people you love.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I feel like with a kid, I'm not. I don't know. Because I barely. This is going to sound bad, but like I've dated a lot of young ladies, and
okay, wait,
they are of a certain
really.
age.
That is no. Start from the beginning. Yeah.
And
I don't know where this is going.
Wait.
Maybe you want to start over.
No. Of legal age. Well, let's start over.
Okay.
So I date I date younger women, and usually around 21, right, or older.
Okay. All right.
And but not but not anything older than 25, because obviously they've gone rancid and they've just become that's just paper shaker territory, Derek. Well, why would I date that? And and I'm kidding, ladies. And to the 20% of our viewers who are women, right? Right. They're and it's now it's like 15% now. And they so they I don't know if you've dated. You've been with your girl for a while, but younger girls behave a certain way, and so I'm just so used to like dealing with them that I feel like I've already dealt with children in some respect. Like, people will come like up to me and just be like, they'll just be like, what, like, you're just gonna let her behave like that? You're just gonna let her like talk to you like that? And I'm just like,
yeah,
hey man, like, I don't come to your house and tell you how to raise your girlfriend, do I? Like, you let me raise my gal the way that I want, and You know what I mean? Like,
right. I can see where you're coming from, but I would just it's gonna be different for sure. Age difference is one part of it. I think because a 21-year-old has gone to school. Like, but when you have a kid, this is what I don't understand.
True.
Kids don't know anything.
Yeah.
They don't know anything.
Yes.
And how do you teach them anything? Correct. Like, they don't even know words. And that's how I usually tell people things. Like, don't do that. They don't even know what that means. You just have to like, no. You do stuff stupid to like distract them from doing the thing they're not supposed to do. I don't get it. I don't know how we learn anything. I think it's a miracle, or whatever that would be called. But man,
you're right.
I can't. You want a kid? Right. What kind of kid would you want? You want
a healthy one? I don't have a preference. Like, I don't have a preference.
Healthy one?
Yeah. Yeah, just like
no
like,
preference.
You know.
All right.
When I see that, I mean, like I don't,
big fat
I don't want them to be
like
hurt. You know, like.
You see it. You right now. You have a big fat baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from a country neither one of us have ever heard of.
Right, exactly. And I would do the Hannibal Buress thing, and I'd go to Bosnia, get myself a white, blue-eyed baby, and I would just dress it up in FUBU and Rocawear, just like Hannibal Buress.
All right.
And I would I'd have a little. It'll have like a little do rag, and it'll be like, whose kid is it? I think is that Basil's kid? Is that, with the do rag?
Yeah.
Why is he wearing a do rag? He's got beautiful blonde locks. That doesn't make any sense.
This will make him a really weird kid moving forward, because he's going to be in his 20s and nobody's going to know who you are, and then he's going to be like, well, no, it's cool because my dad made me this way. And you're like, yeah, I don't know who your dad is.
But I would like to talk to him. I would I've got some questions for him. Dads are weird though in that way. Like my dad, I don't know. I think you and I have had a conversation with you about this. For people who don't know this, my dad is white, but I like to tell people like he's like the kind of white that has to get to the airport like very early, like that kind of white. It's like olive. Okay. I call it olive oil infused white, right? And so it's like my dad goes to an airport and he's randomly checked every single time. That's the type of white he is, right? So, and so the weird thing about him is that he's like borderline Black Panther. Like it's the weirdest. Like my dad is like, it's a weird like. He is like what was the first movie you watched with your dad growing up?
That I really remember? It was either
like what was your first like father-son moment? Like at a movie?
There's 3 movies that I can think of. I'll name all of them. It's one of these 3. It's either Vision Quest, or The Natural, or Highlander.
Solid.
I think it's Highlander. I'm pretty sure it's Highlander.
All great choices. All great choices. Great choices. There can only be one. Hell, that's great.
Right.
My father. How old were you?
I was 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, okay. So that
5,
sounds about
maybe
right.
5. Yeah.
My first movie. Yeah, that makes sense. My first memory of watching a movie with my father. It wasn't Highlander. It wasn't
Okay.
The Lion King. It was a little film called Zulu. If you don't know what Zulu is, Zulu is
okay.
Yes. If you don't know what Zulu is, it is a movie from the '60s, and it's a tight 3 hours. Actually, it might be longer. Let me look it up real quick. It is a tight. How long is Zulu? Because I remember there were two parts. We didn't watch it in one sitting.
It's 139 minutes running time.
Yes. Okay. So it's not 3 hours, but it's 2 hours and a half. And I recall I am around 6 or 7 around this age, and it is just it's just nearly 3 hours of just killing white people. That is all Zulu is. It's Shaka Zulu training to kill guys who look exactly like my dad, right? And that send mixed signals, Derek.
Yeah. This is a very
you don't know what to make of that as a kid,
yeah, where it's just you are going to kill me, or is he training you to do that?
So my dad, he separates himself from. He doesn't think of himself as if you call my dad white, he gets really upset. He's like, I'm not white, I'm African.
Oh yes,
and that's kind of true. It's kind of true he grew up his whole life. He grew up his whole life in Africa, right? He doesn't speak Turkish.
Oh,
he doesn't speak a lick of Turkish. Well, yeah,
where did he grow up?
He speaks. He grew up in Khartoum, in the Sudan, in Africa. So,
oh wow, that's isn't that that's in the middle, right? I mean, it's very. I don't know.
That is in the heart of Africa. It's exactly right. Yeah, it's in the heart of. It's literally, if Africa had a heart, that's literally where my dad is. Right. That's a city he grew up in.
Okay.
And so my dad grew up there, and so to him, it was, I guess, supposed to be this anti-colonialist teaching experience. But I'm 7. And all I'm interested at that point is Neil deGrasse Tyson and physics and space. That's all I care about. I don't know what this whole I'm watching this guy sharpen his spear for 2 hours and just going to town on this British encampment.
This
I'm just
awesome.
I don't know what the lesson here is, Dad. Yeah.
This is awesome. I feel so similar because I feel like this is what is there's a movie there's not a movie. There's a actual thing that happened that I grew up in Oklahoma. A lot of Native Americans here because Oklahoma is the end of the Trail of Tears. So the learning about Custer is I've always felt it was a right thing, that is just a lot of Native Americans killing a bunch of
part of the history.
White soldiers. Yes, kill Custer. That's fantastic. I think I might feel the same about Zulu. It's where'd you guys come out here? If you didn't want to get fucking murdered, why'd you come here? What did you think was going to happen?
It's weird coming from a guy. It's just weird, but it's just weird coming from a dude. I'm looking at the film and then looking back up at him and then looking at the film.
Yeah. No, I totally get it though. You grow up. He feels he's not a white British guy. No. He's not wearing those stupid red coats and the fucking white hats. No.
Right.
Him and his friends are the ones that fucking spear all those fuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah. This is awesome. I want to see this movie. Is it a good movie?
It's actually a good movie. It is a good film. It would be classified by some people as woke, but it was made in the 60s. So I'm not sure how woke it can be. It's about because it's a true story about white dudes getting the shit fucked up out of them, right? And it's about Shaka Zulu, who in legend he's like an African legend, who like no modern weaponry, just strictly military tactics, right? Just destroys these people. So and Michael Caine's in it. Right. I like the great Michael Caine. He's amazing. Perfect. You don't know who Michael Caine is? He's Alfred from Batman, the good Batman, not the new ones. He was
Alfie, the original Alfie.
The original Alfie, correct? Yes, that's hilarious that you know that, and that's why I fucking love you. It's only you and I and 3 other people whom high school was very difficult for know that. And, so yeah, I love you. And,
and he was in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Great movie. But yeah, man, it was like a worldwide phenomenon. And the scariest part of the movie is when they sing before they kill them. Like Zulus are weird, bro. Like when you read about the history, when you read about Zulu, like the Zulu warriors, they're if you ever seen Black Panther, they are like who are the if you ever seen Black Panther, they're the guys from there's the guy who challenges the Black Panther dude. I'm not really a big Black Panther fan, so shock. But like there's
is that Michael B. Jordan?
It's a decent enough Marvel film. No, not Michael B. No. The other guy who challenges T'Challa at the beginning. He's a big dude. He's a part of the Jabari.
Oh,
okay. Jabari come in and they shout out. They actually they shout out a Zulu chant. They would say, what is it in? Yeah. It's like a real one that the Zulus used to shout out to scare their enemies. What is it? I forget that precisely in Zulu what it is, but it's like I think it's Molotov, and then the guys go yeah, hoo, hoo. And that is a real Zulu warrior chant. And so that's the best depiction of them. Like these guys are frightening and huge, and you don't mess with them.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know where Zulu is from. If it's anywhere close to the Sudan, I do know that the Dinka tribe from the South Sudan, they are some of the tallest people in the world. It's an entire tribe of people that look like Kevin Durant. I mean, they are just or Manipur, because I guess that would be a better description of what they look like. I just don't know how many people know Manipur.
Just an entire group of people just clapping, "You the real MVP, Mom." Just a group of those.
Yeah.
If they were
just
right. Yeah. Yeah, dude. The Dinka are freaking huge. I've met them, bro. When I was in the Sudan.
Oh yeah.
When I was exploring the Nile. Yeah. So when I was a kid, around 13 or 14, I was exploring. My folks used to go to the Sudan, and so I used to explore the Nile by boat with people. Lots of crocs. It was definitely not safe, like at all. We shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been there. And you just see crocodiles just chilling, and you're with natives, right? And they're just like, they'll be fine. Don't worry about them. And you're like, I feel like we should kind of like we're a little bit, we should be conscious of them. And they're like, it's whatever. like literally like 10-foot croc just chilling within, like just 20 feet. And you've got a guy in the back in Arabic being like, stop being a bitch. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
And so you go down, we're going down, and you meet all sorts of people by boat, and you meet members of South Sudan all the time, and those motherfuckers are. I'll tell you this: I rarely look up, like I rarely tilt my neck fully up to talk to people, and I do when I'm talking to Dinkas. That's for sure. Yeah, they are I think the shortest one.
They're huge.
Yeah, go on. The shortest one I met was huge. I think on my mom's side, there's some Dinka, right? Which explains a lot because I'm like, there's no way.
Okay.
There's no way. All my dad is shorter. My dad is shorter than me. All his brothers are shorter than me. So any sort of height. So I'm the smallest on my mom's side of the family, which also makes sense because when I observe my own penis, I'm like, there's no way this came from my Turkish side. Is definitely the African side kicking in. Not to toot my own horn.
I haven't done the studies.
Like, I know where this came from.
I haven't looked at a lot.
I have. Hang on. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. No. This is true.
Okay.
The Sudanese people, on average, you can go Google this, biggest dicks in the world.
Okay.
We did it, baby.
All right.
We did it.
Great.
We did it.
I guess.
On average.
I mean,
granted.
On average.
Probably mostly on average. It's not a median. Right. Exactly. Good. You're a good math student, Derek. And additionally, probably mostly Dinka numbers, if I'm being honest. It's mostly Dinkas just swinging around that big. Yeah. So they're really fucking up the average, I'm pretty sure.
I don't understand that because from what I've learned of the Dinka tribe, they're more nomadic. They follow with cattle and stuff, and they walk very often walking naked with cattle that have horns. I mean, just super scary to have a big dick in that situation, unprotected. Just seems I don't understand.
Or it's just to dominate, right? To signify dominance with the bull. It's like, look, I got one too. Why don't you shut the fuck up for a second and listen to what I have to say?
That these dicks are scaring bulls. I just don't understand how they must be. What are they made of? Like automatic weapons? Or can't be scaring.
I mean, think about it from. Think about it from the bull's perspective. You've got this long, lanky guy. He's small. He should be small, right? But then you look down and you're like, hang on. That's what I have. You shouldn't have that. But you do.
Right.
And so that's what about you makes it, are we equals? Is this which part of you is in control? Because from my perspective as the bull, where does the dick end and the man begin? Right? That would be my view as the bull. I don't know. Like I don't know what I think is the bull. Like,
or what about? I mean, I know a lot of animals. Their penis doesn't hang out and open like unless they're aroused. So if it's always out and it's always like that, then they're like, is this guy gonna fuck me now? This guy is walking around. His dick is ready to fuck all the time.
And he's gonna do it. He's in front of the other bulls. Like, is this? I can't handle that sort of humiliation. Like,
don't make eye contact with him.
Don't look at him. Just do whatever he says. Please, just do whatever he says. Okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to fuck the mayor? Okay, I'll fuck the mayor. Please, just don't fuck me with your big human dick. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd be terrified. Like if you met, imagine if you met a squirrel or like a bat with a huge, like a human-sized dick. You'd be like, I don't want any trouble, bat or squirrel.
It would bum me out. It would really bum me out. That's the thing I've always said about dicks. Every time I see one, it bums me out. I did not want to see it.
Like you meet a squirrel and it's normal. It's behaving and it's assertive, right? Which is unusual for a squirrel, right? Like squirrels are not known for their assertiveness, right? And it's got the huge dick. It's got the huge, enormous sized dick, and it's nonchalant about it, which is even more like of an alpha move, right? Like it's really establishing who's in charge.
Upsetting.
In this, yeah, exactly. You're telling me you're not even going to consider what that squirrel might tell you to do if it was capable of communication with you at all? You won't even think, maybe I should listen to what this squirrel has to say.
Well, I listened to the squirrel telling me what to do because its penis is so big. I don't know. I know that I'm not going to be happy when I see it. I will definitely see it and be like, that fucking squirrel. I'm going to scare that squirrel.
If it were me, but it's not going to get scared. It's got a huge dick. It's not scared. That's the problem, right? Yeah. That's the bull. See, like for me as a human, I'm going to, yeah. Go on.
I think if you got a huge dick out like that, you should be scared because that thing is vulnerable. It is nonstop vulnerable all the time. It's the most sensitive thing on your body.
Is it?
It's just.
Is it?
Yeah.
But if it has so much heft, if it has so much heft,
it's like a knee.
You can.
Is it like a foot now?
Yeah, it's just, like a weapon.
It's just.
Yeah, you just. There'd be nothing more humiliating than. Yeah, like imagine you're a bull and a human slaps you with its dick. You'll be like, all right, well, maybe I should listen to what this guy has to say. So I don't know.
Or that's why people get gored to death by bulls. That is where he just. My friend lived on a farm, and like he was. His dad told him, like, before you go out, because he was like in high school, was like, before you go out, you have to put the bull up. And so he's trying to get a bull out of the pen or whatever. And all of a sudden, the bull doesn't want to do any of that shit. It's not wanting to move. And so he's getting mad at the bull. Yeah. And he's like, fucking stupid bull, and he's like pushing it, which is not working at all. And then finally the bull had enough, and it puts its nose right in between his legs and just flips him out of the pen onto his own car.
Wow.
That's how strong they are. Holy they could just lift you into the air with just one of these. Just, you're fucked. I mean, I'm just scared. I'm scared of bulls.
But does your friend
I'm scared of most animals?
But does your friend have a huge dick though? I think that's really like salient.
No, I don't think
to
he
this
does.
Conversation.
I've not asked. I haven't looked at it. What are we talking about? But I tell you this, he wasn't naked when he was doing this. So maybe
there's the problem, man. This feels like his fault mostly. Like you gotta show them your dick, and then they'll be like, right. Oh, okay, the hierarchy has been established, right? Like bulls are Jordan Peterson fans, and they're like, we understand social hierarchies, and so you have a huge dick. We're equals. You don't think that's how it works at all? I feel like it does.
No. Yeah,
no.
I know of one person that supposedly had a massive penis, and they shot him and they stabbed him and they drowned him, and then they cut his dick off. Rasputin.
Who is this?
Isn't that what happened to him? There's
Rasputin.
He's
Russian.
Yeah, supposedly had an enormous 13-inch penis. Yeah, he had an enormous penis, and then it was like they poisoned him, and then they shot him, then they stabbed him, and then they drowned him, and all that stuff.
Why?
So I'm just going to say, if you got a huge dick, you might not want to be telling people about it because people can get upset about it.
But you don't tell people, you tell animals about it. That's totally okay. That's so what the line is.
Go show your penis to animals. You got to show Is this the fuck?
You got to tell.
This sounds like a very weird.
You got to tell.
I mean, what was that? Dr. Dolittle? This is a very strange Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Dr. Dolittle. He had a huge dick. It's like this big. It just scared all the animals. Scared them all.
Huge. And they're like, listen to what he says. He could fuck us at any time. He wouldn't even have to try.
Everybody, that's how big it was. He could understand what animals were saying because they're talking to you.
Exactly.
They learn really quick.
Exactly. So
okay.
They understand God's will. It's just like there's a good Louis C.K. bit where he says what does he say? He says God came down and saw what we were up to. He'd be just so confused. He'd be like,
"Oh, never mind."
No. He said no. It's so. He says he's like God would come down and see us, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And it's like I'm working, and God would be like, "For what? For money. Why do you need money? For food?" And God would be like, "I fucking put food everywhere. Like I left food everywhere for you. There's food. Look at this. There's the bush right here. Like why do you have to go to work? Just go. I put it everywhere for you. There's food everywhere. Go grab the food. What are you doing to the animals? You're eating them? That's disgusting. I gave those to you to fuck." That would make that all make sense. Like,
yeah.
So, anyways, point is, because
I big fan of the Dinka tribe. I disagree. I like to cover my penis up whenever I'm in front of animals or people, or just everybody. Just try to keep it covered. Always.
Look. They established their dominance. I'll tell you that. Here's a fun fact. A fun fact. Before we take a quick break. Fun fact. My mom is violently racist. It's the only way I can describe what she is. And shout out to Ma. And my sister's super mixed. My sister looks nothing like me. So like we're a very mixed family. My sister looks like my sister's what does that mean? My sister looks she's not brown. Like when she walks around with me, people assume she's like Arab or like Indian or like a really light-skinned Indian girl. and they usually assume she's my girlfriend, but she's not. She's my sister.
Okay.
And I remember my sister has like a thing for like K-pop bands. She's lots of young girls her age are into K-pop, dudes. And my mom, being the monster that she is, just took one look at one of the dudes from the K-pop posters my sister used to have up, and looked at her, and then looked back at the dude, and then she said two things. She said, "You like and she said this in Arabic. You like boys who look like girls who look like boys?" And my sister was like, "I mean, I guess, yeah, kind of." And then she said, she said, "He will never satisfy you." And we were just left with that at the dinner table, right? Figuring out what could that possibly. There's only a couple things that could be. Like, yeah. Like, mom,
that word is
real quick. What did you?
Vague.
Yeah, you're a Sudanese woman, and there's only so many things that could mean with the look and the tone that you took. We really think you're talking about dick, Mom. To this day, we've never asked her what she meant by that. We just
right.
We just,
yeah.
We just are like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it. How could you ask her? I always run by the rule that you never ask a question that you're not ready for the answer to. Like there are many answers, and most of them are ones you don't want to hear your mom say ever. And if it's important, she'll probably bring it up again.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, satisfying.
Which she did. What? She did. Yeah.
Oh, she brought it back up.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, what?
Every time she saw one of. It's the same thing. She would just like look at these guys on like the TV. Like my sister would stream like these K-pop music videos. She would just look back at. She would look at them. Then she would look at me, which was weird. And then she would look back at the video, and then she'd look back at me, and she'd just be like. And that was it. That was the whole like as if I knew what that meant. Like,
Your mom's. Your mom is Sudanese.
She is.
I mean, okay.
So she's no doubt aware of Dinka Dick. So no doubt.
Okay.
So she's. Right. Yeah. So.
I mean. Okay. That's everybody has their choices. Everybody has their feelings about things. Didn't she marry a Turkish?
So
man?
that's what.
Okay.
That's what I tell her. I'm like, she used to give me like lectures. Like she'd be like, you shouldn't marry don't like marry like an American woman or anything like that, or like don't marry anyone white. And my dad would be like 5 feet away, and he would just be there, and I would like look at him, and he'd be like, just listen to your mother. Like he doesn't even want to like be part of that fucking.
He's watched Zulu. He knows not to.
Like, I'm just trying to. He's like, I just want to watch the game. Like I don't want like any trouble this morning. I just woke up. Like I just woke up.
Yeah.
And you're already starting with the shit.
The beach in Chicago, and he was staring out at the water after they'd broken up. Yeah. He was like, most people have a voice in their head. Comedians do too. It's just the voice sounds just a bit different. It's like, oh, you're so sad, you stupid fuck. You're going to cry at the water, you just completely bright piece of shit. You think that she cares that you're crying right now? Oh, man. Just killed me. So good.
That shit is too real, bro. That's one of those jokes that I laugh at, and I'm like, whew. You're like, Like, this could be a quiet drive home. Yes. Yeah. Just quiet. One time I had a comic. He's a young guy. He's a young guy. I'm not going to name his name because I don't care for him. But he was. What did he say? He said, "Do you think anyone loves you?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, I was like, "Why'd you?" And he asked me that right before I was going to get on stage, like literally seconds before I'm about to get on stage.
Why would you ask me that? Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like
that's
like I was like this is at the Laugh Factory. This is the Laugh Factory in Chicago.
Oh, man.
I'm about to go up. I don't remember what show it was. Yeah, so it was like a gig, and you know, full crowd, and yeah, and yeah, and you know, the Laugh Factory pays decently. You know, it actually pays. They pay better than a lot of people love Comedy Works, which is the comedy club down in Denver, and and I like the owner. I forget her name, but they don't pay. Like Laugh Factory is much. I don't know. They were much nicer.
I think.
And much more generous.
I think it's because the Laugh Factory was newer in Chicago. I find this that, you know, it's whenever something starts, as you know, like it's like the old person who's like, well, when I was a kid, $1 was a lot of money, and you're like, well, you're not current, you're old, and $1's not worth a lot anymore. I used to get nickels, and those were expensive. No, well, a nickel is barely worth picking up off the ground now. It is so minuscule that you see change. It's like, those aren't quarters. I'm not getting them.
It's not even worth it. Yeah. No. It's like that. What's that John Mulaney gig? He's like, we used to play Jackson, blah, 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 by the soda fountain. It's like, no one understands what the fuck you're talking about, old man. No one understands. Like, so like, yeah, it's a little bit like that. When you and it's, but the thing is, I love old people so like, I don't know. I love. This is weird. I love old white people, which is weird to people. Because they're just like, why do you like? I don't know why. It's just I like old white people. I don't because they like me for some reason, and I don't know why.
How many old white people have you met?
A lot. I used to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I worked when I was. Yeah. So when I was a kid, I used to volunteer at a. There's a place called what is it called? Shalom something. I love Jews, by the way. I know that's a weird statement, and it feels like I'm trying to defend myself from some sort of future allegation. No, I just like Jews like a lot. No. Like I've always connected with them, and so so the place I used to work in an old home. It was filled with Jews. Okay, because it was a Jewish old home, and just to give you an idea of what kind of people I was dealing with, the people in that old home like had numbers on their wrists. Like that's who. Oh, that's the type of person you're dealing with. Yeah, it is not right. So like these are people who have seen things, but they were always so like joyful, right? And like always so like full of like laughter and like love and shit. And it was just like, it's like this woman was like I'd be talking to this old lady, and it's like, yo, she went through the Holocaust. What the fuck am I upset about? Literally, I can see the number on her like wrist, right? And like, I'm like, I was like bummed out up to that point in the day, and then I talked to her, and it's like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Everything's fine. Look how happy this chick is. She's in an old home, right? Most of her friends are probably dead, right? And and she's still chipper. So. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is about old white folk. Like, I just,
Well, see, I'm wondering if you're talking about old Jewish people who went through the Holocaust. They might have a redefined, like, what is the enemy? It has a look, and it's not you, Basil. I mean, it is.
It looks like my ex.
Straight away.
Yeah. No, it looks yeah. I
Just,
mean, it is.
She can just look at you and go, he's not one of them. He is not one of them.
Yeah.
Which is the great thing. Because
I'm like,
in 2022,
right.
2023, you could be. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the rules are broken. Anybody can be anything today.
I mean, look, don't tell me what I can't or cannot be, Derek.
Exactly.
You fucking bigot. All right. We've had such a beautiful friendship this whole time, and now you're telling me I can't be a Nazi?
Right?
What if I want to be a Nazi? What if that's what I've always wanted to be?
Kanye is a Nazi now.
You don't think I have it in me? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what this reminds me of is this conversation I had. This is similar. This Kyle Kinane has like a similar experience. I did a show at a strip club and had the same conversation with my I think it was my dad, but I think Kyle Kinane has a conversation with his mom, and he's like I did a show at a strip club, and his mom's like. His mom brings it up. She's like, what's this I hear about you doing a show at a strip club? And Kanane's like, it was just words. I was taking off my clothes. And she was like, I know you're not taking off your clothes. And then he gets real upset. He's like, what you think? I can't take off I'm not good enough? Same thing. I'm not good enough, Derek, to be a Nazi? Is that what you think? Like, I don't have the stamina and the capacity to be a Nazi?
No, I'm saying
I'm very good at things.
I believe in you. And I think you could do it. If you set your mind
to
it.
What up, Tyler?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, I tried to throw her off. She had the number. I would look at her and look at her wrists and just be like 9, and she'd be like, "What did you just say?" And I'd be like, "Oh no, I see the number 9 on your wrist." Yeah. I just thought, just to throw her off a little bit. No. I mean, in all serious, tough crowd.
I was watching a movie when I was a kid.
Go on.
There's a movie I used to watch called The Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Growing up, it's a great movie. I mean, it's all of the monsters are coming back. Because Van Helsing banished them, but they're all coming back to suburban America. In the 1980s. And the only people who know to fight it are these 11-year-olds, and the only person that will talk to them is their neighbor that they're scared of. He's the scary German guy. And as he's like reading this German book to them, they are like, "Oh, wow, you really know a lot about monsters." Then the camera pans down to his arm. You see numbers on his arm, and he goes, "I guess I do know a lot about monsters." Jeez. As a kid, right over my head. Jesus Watched Christ. It again. I'm like, holy fuck.
Nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Parents took their children to go see this movie in the theater, and they were probably like, "This movie is dumb. This is so silly." We've got Uncle Rico as the fucking wolf man. And that guy was in the Holocaust. Holy fuck.
So funny.
Scared the shit.
But what I was gonna say is, we'll see what he says is, old white people like me who aren't Jewish. So I'm friends with a lot of like white dads. Yeah.
White
I don't know why.
All right.
It's just
okay.
Yeah, like dudes in their 50. I don't know. I because this has been happening since I was in my mid 20s, late 20. Because I got all their references. Like I grew up on classic rock, and I listened. I love. I listened to like
Rush.
One of the guys. I would go. It was weird. I would go. Yeah, I know a lot of Rush. Yeah, I know a lot about Led Zeppelin. I know a lot about Van Halen. I know a lot about fucking Paul Revere and the Raiders. Yeah, don't fuck with me on classic white guy rock. I know my shit.
All right.
And I love it.
Damn,
I love it.
Yankees.
It's not sarcastic. It is genuine. Hell, Wham's Christmas album. Remember that piece of shit? Yeah, I listened to that too. I know all of it. I know all of it, bro. And so they're like, older white dudes, when they talk to me, they're like, I think I like the cut of this kid's jib. And what would end up happening is I would just end up making friends with my friends' dads, to the point where they would stop asking their children to hang out with them, and they would ask me to go out and hang out with them. Like my friend would be like, "Hey, I've got these tickets to Steve Martin. Do you want to go see Steve Martin?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, Charles, let's go see Steve Martin. Let's do this. It's gonna be great. I love Steve Martin, right?"
Oh man!
And then there'd be other times where my friends would call. There'd be other times, like I had one time, my friend Katie, she called me up. She was like, "Hey, where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "I'm with your dad." And she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And I was like, "He got us sideline tickets to the Broncos game." So I didn't think. I thought it would be cool if, like, like they're like on, like I can see Tom Brady, Katie, like from, like he's 20 feet away from me. And she'd be like, "I mean, it's fine. It's just, I just didn't know you and my dad were like that." Like,
you're stealing your friend's parents.
Go on, sorry.
That is, you're just stealing your friend's parents. That's unbelievable.
Look, I'm just looking for a dude who, I love my dad, but there's a foreign element there that I can't always cross. But these guys, like, I'm still close with my I like my dad a lot. He's a good dude, or he means well at least. But they're, I don't know, older white dads. They just are like, this guy's just he gets it. He gets me. And I got all their movie jokes. I got all their movie references because I watched old movies because I was a weird kid. I was a hipster. I was hipster scum, So
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that's all people are looking for, is somebody who just they get their references. They can associate. You like this thing that I like? Okay, we can be friends. Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, yeah, I think I feel like I read something about, like, what is it? One way to combat racism was, like, if a teacher and a child of a different race found out that they liked the same baseball team, then it's like, well, they're no longer different. They're fans. They're the same. We're the same now. Whereas before we were different, but now we're the same.
I love it. You know what? Stuff like that used to make me mad. It used to make me mad, but now I'm like, you know what? Just, it's fine. That's good. Whatever, man. Like, I don't, like, this week you had to deal. This week people. Exactly. This week we had to watch the whole. I don't know the God. What's his name? I didn't watch the video. I told this to Derek before we started shooting, but I don't say it again.
Tyre Nichols.
Tyre Nichols. Tyre Nichols. Here's the thing for anyone listening.
That's how I read it. And it could be wrong, but that's.
It's not wrong. He's exactly right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right, Derek. And like, okay, I love that. That's a rough one, man. I don't know. I've reached it. I don't watch those videos anymore.
Yeah.
And before anyone's hits me up on Twitter and corrects me, it's like the cops were black. I know. But like, I don't know. When it comes to it's weird, man. The thing that strikes me about that is, like, when I talk to my like sort of more conservative friends, and they're like, well, like, you know, what was he doing everything he said? And I was like, I feel like
it doesn't matter. They beat him to death.
The issue is,
I mean,
is the killing part. Yeah. And then I get other friends who are like, well, more white dudes get killed by the cops every year. And I'm like, I feel like that's also kind of like,
that's just
on
my side.
That's still
I'm
against, that's still a problem. Yeah, but it's, yeah, like I'm still. Did you think when you told me that like more white dudes are gonna be like, oh well, that's fair, okay, we should not worry? Like, no, I'm like, I don't want those dudes to get killed either. You know what I mean? Like, like I don't get the reasoning.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't
think that's
it's rough, bro. It's rough.
Yeah. I don't like the
right.
I don't like people getting killed.
Like, yeah, I'm like, I don't want those guys to die either, because they might be dudes I like, you know, like it's the whole purpose of all this. So it's.
I was told you're not supposed to
kill
people.
Yeah,
and that's I've just stuck with it. It's stayed with me the whole time. Don't kill people. And when people are dying, stop them from dying. That is another thing. If somebody is saying, I'm dying.
Right. That's
stop doing what you're doing. That's killing them. Yeah.
Stop. And that's an old-fashioned view to take, I feel like, but you know what? I think it's the right one. Because it's crazy. It's crazy, dude. Like watching like all these like videos of people. It's like the idea of the police. Again, I've told you this off air. Like I've traveled around the world. That's just one of those things like healthcare, where when I explain to people, it's like, oh yeah, sometimes the cops kill you. People are like, you guys should do something about that. Like,
right?
Have you guys talked about that at all?
Yeah.
And
I can't call the police. Yeah. I mean,
right.
they're the ones doing the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of and like, you know, a lot of my it's like a problem of like do they not? Is it a training thing, bro? Like, because like I have friends who are good cops. Like they're not just good cops; they're great cops. I have a buddy of mine who ex-Marine turned cop, and he used to tell me something real interesting. He's the guy I used to bodybuild with back in Denver, and he used to say to me, he's like, you know, and he's like I said, ex-Marine, been in Iraq, did 2 tours there, and he used to tell me, like, you know, we used to get trained to not shoot or not lethally engage non-combatants who are Iraqis.
Yeah,
and you had to you'd get trained for that, right?
Right.
And so like which was a really interesting point, because right, like what he's saying is that like, okay, I'm overseas. I'm not even dealing with American citizens. I'm a cop now, right? And I've received that training from the military to sort of assess the situation and make sure I don't kill non-Americans. So it's weird to me that we're not sort of engaging in the same sort of, I don't know, the same sort of urgency isn't really present in training here. Does that make sense at all? I don't know.
Right. That we're not telling people repeatedly don't kill people. I mean, some people, I guess they think that everybody knows you're not supposed to kill people. That is not what's happening. People are not getting that message. Apparently. Also, I mean, it's I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. What? How would you fix it? I don't know.
Man, Americans are it's like there's this like, I don't know, underlying fear in the US of just, I don't know, and I don't know if it's like a spiritual thing. There's just a terror there, man. That it's not that terror isn't present in other places, but like, what is it that? Because I've never been in that situation where I've had to kill someone.
No.
So I don't know what choices you can make, but if my ex-military friends are telling me like, no, you're supposed to figure out, it doesn't matter. It is a life or death situation, but your training should tell you whether you should kill someone or not. Like, I kind of trust them on that one. Like, I feel like I feel like I can trust the guy who's done 2 tours in Iraq to tell me, that you should be trained enough. And maybe that's it. We don't train them. We don't train them enough. We don't pay them enough. Maybe it's like teaching.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's what I do know is that it's super scary all around. It just gets really dicey, and god damn, they just have guns on them, and it scares me.
So you got to look out for cops. You got to look out for cops. You got to look out for. It's hard to make that funny, but you got to look out for cops. You got to look out for food. Apparently, you and I have had that conversation.
That's another thing that's killing us.
Like, you just.
But we're fighting childhood obesity.
Yeah,
we're starting to. You want to talk about this?
Are we?
Yeah. I think we should.
I do. I definitely do.
I do. I think we should fight it.
Because you think we should fight childhood obesity? Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being an obese child is terrible. It's fucking awful. It fucks you up for your whole life. Like, a lot of people like to think, they'll grow out of it. Well, all that shit that you got called was a kid. You don't grow out of that. All those fucking names they called you. You wake up, think about them every day. You know what? Your friends that you see later in life, that were your friends your whole life, and they said those mean things to you, I still think about them all the fucking time. Never forget. But, let it go.
No, I don't let things go. Remember, I'm Arab and Muslim,
okay,
and we're capable of holding grudges for thousands of years. CC, Israel, Palestine. So, although I'm sure they're ready to finish that up, I'm sure they'll stop. I'm sure that's nearing its end. So no, I hold that shit. If I meet I grew up a chubby kid. I was a fat kid. So if I ever meet those people, most of those people, I don't keep track of them. I'm not friends with them, but I know a lot of them are fat now because I'm told they are by my friends who I do keep in touch with, and I would mock them and belittle them because I'm small.
Exactly,
Derek.
Because everybody,
I'm not a good person.
People hate them. People think it's okay to make fun of them.
I don't think it's okay. Well, why? Tell me why you think that.
Well, I'm just from my lived experience. If you are fat, it's not that people say it all the time.
Yeah,
it's when it's just the first thing they go to when you upset them. Like,
they're mad.
Me and my friend, me and my friend, we're in the lunchroom. It was like, I'm a 6th grader. He's a 7th grader, and he had a cookie, and he was like waving in front of my face. It's like, I got an Oreo. He was taunting me because he got more than me, and being a friend, I just reached out and grabbed it from him, and I put it in my mouth, and I ate it, and he just looked at me with disgust, and he just went, "You fat fuck!" Like, the moment I frustrated him. my eyes immediately he was like, what the? And he was like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're sorry now that you let that out, but you think that in your mind.
Yeah.
And
I
realized that
he
had always kind of thought that about me. We were 6th and 7th graders. So,
I feel like so.
Yeah.
Shit, then that's real. That is deep. Yeah. That's. I mean, there's a great joke on racism that a kind of it's not the same, but kind of relates to this. Where who was it who said? I don't know what comic said this. I think it's the frick is his name. He's very funny. He got kicked off SNL. Anyways, I forget the dude's name. Very funny, but he's like racism is like it's like being hungry. It's like, yeah, not right now, right? But as soon like as a fat like for this situation, like as soon as a cheeseburger cuts you off on the highway, you're like, fucking cheeseburgers, man. It's the first. Same thing with fat people. It's the first. You think you don't hate fat people, and then a fat person, does something to you, and you're just like, you fat fuck.
I'm gonna sum up all my rage in that one thing. He wasn't mad at me,
and you're gonna feel it too.
Fat. Right? Oh yeah, because calling somebody fat is it's terrible. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah.
So much shame.
Yeah.
But getting like I like this. And I've heard that they're starting to prescribe kids medicine to make them not fat anymore. I like it.
I know you do. I saw that the American. Go on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because for a long time they just said, "Oh, we'll just teach kids how to eat, and then they won't be fat." And you know what? Didn't fucking work. Didn't work a bit. Got worse. A lot worse. It's just we just kept getting fatter. So I don't think whatever information you're giving is helping at all. So maybe it's time to get in there and do something that works.
But why not just what like do you know how much exercise you're supposed to get a day? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay.
Most people don't. Most Americans don't get it.
Okay. Well,
right.
Then we got to figure
like this is
else
to
out.
me. Here's my issue with it. Here's my issue with it because so what Derek's talking about, American Society of Pediatrics changed their obesity guidelines. First time they've done it in like 15 years, and he and I differ on what the recommendations for childhood obesity are. I'm old fashioned. I think you should eat well, and I think you should exercise. Now, here's the caveat with that. Parents suck. A lot of parents suck. Like a lot of parents suck. And then there's also a lot of parents are poor. A lot of parents are poor. They can't actually afford. The U.S. is the only country I've been to in the world where food that is bad for you is more readily available and cheaper than food that is good for you. I have never been to another country where that is the case. And a lot of people like to argue with me on that, but like it's just true in my in Europe. There's taxes on horrible food for like. So you want to eat this, you fat fuck. I presume is the subtext. Right. Here's extra $3. Here's pay extra €3, right? But in the States, it's all there. It's all available. In in like Egypt or in Colombia,
free market,
right? If you want Pizza Hut,
free market, it's no restriction.
It's
free market works
in Egypt and in pizza. It's in Egypt and Colombia. If you want, this is true. If you want Pizza Hut, bro, it is how many Egyptian pounds is it compared to like a normal healthy meal? I want to say it's almost 10 times. Like a normal healthy meal. Normal healthy Egyptian healthy meal, it's like 5 pounds. A pizza is going to be like 40 pounds.
In America,
it's a lot. It's a lot more.
Go to Costco, you can get a hot dog and a Coke.
Right. Right.
and they haven't raised the price in a decade.
But why?
Why?
That is concerning. That is very concerning.
Yeah. Oh no, the CEO of Costco, I think, came out and said angrily that they will not raise the price. He's like, I'll fucking quit before we raise the price.
He's like, read my lips. No new hot dog prices. He's gone full Heston. I love that. But the thing is I don't trust the American healthcare system. I don't trust what they do with Vyvanse, right? Like we were talking on air about how the Shire increased their patent on Vyvanse for 100 years, so nobody could make a generic, so that it could be cheaper and readily available to people. That's why I don't trust this legislation, man. I don't trust it. Right. I just don't trust it. I feel like they have found another. Sorry, go on. I get heated up on this stuff. So
right, I get you. What I guess you're afraid that something might happen, but okay, what is the solution? What do we could take some medicine, or we can. You know what? We'll just do surgery. How about that? How about bariatric surgery? Do a little lap band. How about or a gastric
okay with surgery,
bypass?
Actually.
Yeah,
I'm okay with surgery.
All right,
I'm okay with surgery, but I'm not sure how I feel about that on kids.
It works. Oh, all right. How about letting them get fat? I mean, the body's getting affected. And getting fat.
I think you know what I really think all this comes from? I think it's like a top down. Like the Americans really like to. I say the Americans as if I'm not part of them. The Americans really like to. I think the greatest issue in American health, or the greatest what's the word, threat to the American health, to Americans' health, and the greatest crisis to American health is mental health. I think that's where the root of all of this comes down from.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a crisis when it comes to discipline. I think there's a crisis where it comes to treating people who actually need it and taking it seriously. Like to me, I'm not one of those Andrew Tate dudes who's like, depression isn't real, man. It's all in your head. It's like, no, science.
It is. It is all in my head. It's called depression.
Yeah.
And it's gonna kill me.
Yeah. It's people made it much smarter than you. It's like the same thing with like climate control, right? Like when people say it's like depression isn't real, or climate control isn't real, or climate change isn't real, like it's just a thing made up by scientists. And it's like, if it really was that simple,
yeah.
Like I just feel like ExxonMobil has so much money, they would have made it rain in Nerd Town, right? To make these motherfuckers shut up about the climate. Yeah. I feel like that would have happened.
They made it.
Exactly. And they did. And it still wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we still got to talk about this. That's how much of an issue. So it's like the same thing with depression, where it's like, if we really wanted that not to be a thing, there's someone's profiting off of it, right?
Yeah.
And that part I get, and that's where the Americans. It comes down to this like weird thing that we have, and I'm a capitalist, right? I'm a business owner. I am not by any means an anti-capitalist in any shape or form. I do think that there is a form of capitalism in the United States that is so extreme and so predatory, it literally goes against national interests. Like it goes against your your nation state, which back in the day, that wasn't cool. Like you weren't supposed to do that to like even like the most horrible like Mad Men Office, like you can think of scenario where guys are like, we'll make this, they'll fucking buy anything. Like even there was like they had a limit, right? They were like, hey, we're not going to sell our secrets to the Chinese. Let's not put our nation state. Let's not make our nation state that vulnerable. And I just feel like we've reached that point in the U.S. where there's no limit. Like the U.S. military can't recruit enough healthy people. That's a national defense problem. So like, where are my conservative friends on this issue? Go on. Sorry.
So I feel like you have walked your way around. You're on my side. I mean, we need, if we want to have soldiers, we're gonna have to give these kids medicine. Otherwise,
I don't think it's a medicine thing.
Okay,
go make them exercise. Have it part of the curriculum.
How do I do that?
Have a book. Do you remember Book It? Do you remember Book It?
Yeah.
Do you remember Book It? You get a free pizza for every book. Free.
I didn't read any books.
Okay, well, I read a lot. Okay, I won an award. Okay, I read a lot.
Okay. I think what we're finding is that there are things that make people overweight, and some of those things.
That's okay.
Really
That's okay.
But it's not okay. We've already.
I think that is very
okay to be overweight. People are not okay with it.
But what I'm saying that there's a small percentage of people who I think it's okay. That it is a challenge. There's genuinely a number of people who have an issue, whether it be hormonal or genetic. I just don't think that the number of people is as pronounced as we think it is. I think that yeah. Okay, well then the small number, but my worry is we're
okay.
But my worry is that we're going to like do what we did with depression, where it's like everybody has ADHD, everybody has depression, right? Whereas there's people where I'm like with you, I'm like that dude definitely has ADD. Right? Like, it's not really it's not. You know what I mean? That like it's like if someone was like, "Hey, prove to me that ADD is real," I would call you immediately. I'd call you immediately, and I would have you describe to me your schedule from the past 5 days, and I'd be like,
"Right, yeah,
fucking exactly, right."
This
like
is
so,
what happens
but
medicine,
on
medicine, it's very different.
Exactly. It's real. But like I'm scared that they are going to do what they did to people with depression or people who use Vyvanse and create these incredibly expensive medications, and now you're dependent on another fucking thing, and you don't have to be, but you're a parent, right? And so now you're manipulating people's emotions. Now as a parent, you're like, well, I don't want my kid to be fat and ridiculed at school, because that sucks. But also, this medication is like $400 a bottle, right?
Right.
You're gonna make them make that another choice. Also, wages are stagnant in the United States. Like it just goes on and on. And I don't trust the system enough to not feel like there's something predatory that won't happen.
Okay.
That's my issue. That's my issue.
Okay, so I'm with you. I'm with you. Then we actually are in agreement. You don't want anything predatory. I guess I'm not worried about the predatoriness, but I'm against it if it's there. I want to get it out. Luckily, I think one of the medicines is already very cheap. It's a diabetic medicine. It's for diabetes.
Fine.
And it's already been tested on children.
Fine.
Because I think.
Okay.
I'm not certain, but I want to say it might have been developed for childhood diabetes, and it works by.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question for you. Then I have a question for you. Okay, so you have these medications. They've been, some of them have been tested on children. My question for you is, when it comes to ADD, does medication alone work? Do you think that's it? You think all it takes is medication and suddenly?
Well, in the case of ADD, then whereas ADD differs from obesity is that untreated obesity compounds on itself, whereas ADD kind of maxes out. Like, my ADD doesn't get more, like, in 10 years untreated, my ADD won't be untreatable. Like, I won't have to have surgery for my ADD in 10 years. But for obesity, you might. Like, you can get to a point where you're so fat that exercise won't bring you back. Like, you're just you're gone. Like, you don't have enough hours in the day to walk your 400 pounds off, right?
That's an extreme case, but also I still think that person can. But but that's not what I'm asking. Anyways, what I'm asking is,
right.
What works with ADD? Like, is it just us taking meds, or is there a certain lifestyle component that comes with it that actually helps?
Yeah.
So why aren't we putting money into that?
Okay, I guess for ADD, I feel like it was finding some coping strategies and also building a network of people around me to accommodate for my irregularness. Like, somebody calling me and telling me I have to go someplace. Whereas people don't like
wink. Yeah.
People won't do that for fat people. It's just like, well, you can't control yourself. And then if you say, I can't control myself, then where are we? It's like, I can't stop eating. Well, what happens?
That's I feel like, again, that's a different problem. My point is, there's a holistic this American mindset of like, here's some meds. Now shut the fuck up and get out of my face. It doesn't work, man. Because if it did, there'd be a lot less depressed people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there would be a lot less people with mental health issues. That's my thing. Like, if you're just gonna throw some medication, go on.
Or maybe there should be so much more that we don't even know about. What about that? What if we're doing the best we can? It's just depression is so pervasive because humans have this terrible brain.
That's true.
Like, yeah.
No, that's fair. That's true.
But
no, I mean that's
holistic approach. I would love a holistic approach, but I mean, I just don't know.
Yeah.
If I want it to, at a certain point, is it going to work? I don't know.
I think it does. It's just a matter of, I mean, my own journey. Although, granted, I'm in a privileged position. Like, I have to acknowledge that. I have to acknowledge, like, I can afford an assistant who can schedule my day for me. I can afford someone to make my meals for me. Right? That helps a lot with the health stuff. So I get that. I just wish we people were more inclined to attack the root of the problem. And with regards to like empathy for like people who are fat, I feel like the reason, especially skinny people, fucking hate fat people, bro. Like, they loathe fat people. It is like, do you think it's because
thing is,
because like you know what I mean. Like they grow up,
and they're always skinny.
They grow up
skinny.
and they're like,
and if they start to get fat, they can fix it just like that.
They grew up doing sports. They grew up, you know, yeah, exactly. They grew up doing sports. They grew up doing, yeah. Go on.
Okay. I'm sorry. You go. I will follow.
No, it's my. I'm there's a delay, buddy, and I keep stepping on you, and it's something I'm working on, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
My point is, yeah. Go on.
Okay. The thing I
goddamn delay. Go on.
I know. The thing I'm thinking of is that if a person has been skinny their whole life, like I had a friend, he's thin.
Yes.
He says like, you know, if I feel like I'm getting a little bit fat, you know, I just, you know, I'll like go jogging a couple of days, and then I won't eat as much, and then it's gone. And I will say like, well, you really there won't in what I'm doing. And I was like, but if I reverse that and I say like, you know, like if I wanted to get bigger, I want to grow more muscle, you know, I just eat a little bit more, and I lift for a couple of days, and then I'm physically, I have grown bigger. I can grow muscle, but that person will always be a little bitch because that's who they are genetically. They can't change who they are. And I will always be a fat piece of shit because that's who I am.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, man. It's a complex topic. It's a complex topic. You're right, though. I mean, the thing that bothers me is when skinny people get really uppity with people who are overweight, and it's like you're not really in the pinnacle. Like, why don't you take your shirt off? Let's see what you're working at with. But that's the elitist in me. That's the fitness elitist in me, who's like,
yeah,
like if you're gonna be shitty to people, like let's see what you got, you know.
Right.
But
I mean, you look at Elliot Kipchoge, just like, didn't he just break the sub 2 hour marathon? You know, that guy works out a lot.
Yes, he did.
And he is
correct.
Very tiny person, very small, which is great
correct.
For running marathons. You wouldn't say that. I mean, his ability
closer to
run
the earth
is so good. And then you look at somebody who else is also really good at running. You got Usain Bolt. They don't look anything alike. Like they look like different from different worlds because they're so diverse in how they look. And I don't think that either one of them could ever work out their way to becoming the other. You know? Usain Bolt's never going to look like...
That's a good point. No, that's an interesting point. That's a really interesting point. That's a really interesting point.
So there has to be
but we're not... But in that case, we're...
Right.
Yeah, but I don't... But do you need to become Usain Bolt? Or Elliot?
Oh,
I mean... I'm just... You know?
I'm just saying that maybe some people just getting to what people call normal.
The barriers are lower.
It's just,
the barriers are even
get weirder.
Higher. I mean, I should say. Yeah.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that doctors are trying instead of saying things like, they grow out of it. No, they won't. They don't grow out of it unless they become shamed into having a body dysmorphia, and then they work their way out of it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Their whole life.
And they become like me. Yeah.
I mean,
right. Just constantly obsessed with how you look in the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about it with
you want to know the funny thing about
work on it at the gym. Get a notebook. Think about it all the time. Gotta hire all these people. Or maybe you just take a little bit of medicine when you're in 5th grade and then you don't have that fucking problem.
I like mine though because it's really intense, and it's built on a foundation of inferiority, which manifests itself as a superiority complex. I think that's richer to the character development of the story I'm building. So, but maybe
yes, you're like the Mandalorian here. You know, this is the way.
Oh yeah. This is the way. Yeah. This is the way. Just you know, you are an amazing writer. I like good writing, and I just want to see some good character development in my story. You know, just a moment maybe where I realized, hey, you know what? The maybe this isn't the right way to go. Maybe I should focus on being happy with myself or.
I am ready. What I'm going to say is I'm ready for anybody who has new information to change my opinion. Like if you've got, I'm not saying that I'm right. I am saying that I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to sacrifice these children to the god of pharmacies just so that
you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotta. Yeah. That is so funny. That is a risk I am willing to have you take. That's funny. God damn, that's funny, Derek. Oh. Yeah, man. You know, we'll see how it works. I hope. You know, I want people to be healthy. As a gym fanatic, I'm like, you know, just work out all the time. But you know, I've had my own issues with my own body, and you know, things I've had to fix up with that. The funny thing is, when you get real muscular, is sure, yeah, girls will definitely hit on you, but they do it in that weird, creepy way that they don't realize they're being creepy. But like guys, you don't get catcalled by women. I get catcalled by men a lot. I get catcalled.
Oh yeah,
by men.
They're calling you big guy.
Hey, big
all
the
guy.
Time. They're calling me fucking big. Hey, big man. And I'm like, I'm not big man. I don't want to be big man. Just. Hey man, you own a gym? I don't own a gym. I'm a software engineer. I don't own a gym. Please.
Hey, if you come out here dressed like
and then the other and
you don't expect people to call you that, that's your problem. You work out to show off all those muscles. That's what you do. You do that on purpose. It's your fault.
You wouldn't. If you didn't dress that way, you wouldn't. It's the funny, but it's, you know, it makes you feel good. Like honestly, it kind of reinvigorated my faith in dudes, because dudes are just willing to, like they were ready to compliment you as a guy. Like whoever says guys aren't like comfortable enough with themselves to compliment, that's a fucking lie. I don't say they're too comfortable. That's my position.
Oh yeah.
I think they should keep some of it to themselves.
Do
you want a gym?
I love,
dude.
I was in a. I was at a show one time, and I'm sitting in a booth, and there are 4 guys in the booth right behind me talking to each other, and I know that they think that nobody else can hear them in the world, and it's just 4 32-year-old guys, and one guy goes, "Seriously, guys, do you guys think I'm fat?" And they go, "No, man, you're not fat. Like you're like skinny fat. Like you're skinny, but you got a little bit of fat. But you're not fat, dude. You're skinny fat." And the guy was like, "Thanks, man. That really made a lot. That means a lot to me. I've been worried about it."
And they're just like, there's this, but that's a good thing. That's what I don't get. Like, sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I think women think we're talking about just like bitch, like it's like they're just talking about the most disgusting, this gym locker talk. I was at a locker room with a bunch of bodybuilders. Yeah, I was in a locker room with a bunch of bodybuilders, and the heated debate, the heated discussion was whether Spider-Man could beat Batman with preparation or not. That's what we talk about in my that's what those guys are talking about. Like,
I've had that conversation multiple times, and I just got to say it. Anybody with anything, Batman is stupid. Me and my neighbor got into it, and he was like, "What could Superman do to hurt Batman?" I was like, "Shoot him with lasers. Throw a building at him. Just you could just rip the ground of Earth that Batman is on and just throw it into the sky. Freeze him. Like anything, he is vulnerable to everything. Superman just is not vulnerable to almost anything. He's fucking Superman. Batman is a dude. He just has money. Money does not make you invincible." So stupid. This love of Batman is ridiculous.
And they're fighting totally different. They're fighting totally different villains. Batman's just beating up mentally ill people all day. He's just beating up the mentally ill. Superman is fighting cosmic threats. That's what he's fighting. He's dealing with Darkseid. He has no time for the Joker. The Joker is he's gonna send the Joker to Arkham Asylum, or he's gonna banish him to the Phantom Zone. That's it. He's not. He's like, I don't have time for this. The Darkseid's trying to destroy the universe. No. That's so fucking funny.
Batman is,
yeah. I
don't like Batman.
The last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, what is it?
He's a little bit I'll find a thing I say about Batman. Little weird how he beats up the mentally ill and doesn't really provide much. Well, no, that's not true. He does provide solutions for them. Batman's complex. But anyways, last thing I want to talk about is just Blueface. This Blueface thing. You and I are old.
You're gonna have to talk to
let's just get that out of the way.
Blueface.
Yeah, so apparently, Blueface is the only. Here's how I know Blueface. He's not a good rapper. That's all I know. Women, however, find him attractive. Yeah. He does. Let's keep in mind he has face tattoos.
Okay.
I mean,
that's
impressive.
I
think it really says more about women's.
If you can be attractive and have face tattoos, that's really good for you. I'm proud of you.
or maybe it speaks more on women's discernment. Who knows? Yeah, the dude. I've never in my life been like, oh, I need to seek. I mean, as a guy, maybe it's just because I'm a guy. I'm like, oh, look, the guy with the face tattoo. I bet he has great advice. I bet he has wise, sage wisdom. But anyways, Blueface is. I know it's fucked. I know. Blueface is involved in a deep domestic dispute with, I believe her name is ChriseanRock. ChriseanRock is, I think, another actress or another rapper, and I think she's an OnlyFans model, so really top shelf, and. Yeah, they've been having a real public dispute on and so much so it's turned violent.
Okay, which way does this go?
Go on,
because there's only you say a domestic dispute publicly that's violent.
Well. Let's say that. I think you Yeah, I think you can guess because Blue Sean is not in prison. So who do you think was violent?
All right. Okay, so we have Chrisean
So
is hitting him, and then what happens? Like,
yeah,
does he just
take
it and then leave? Does anybody stop?
I guess I don't know. I don't know, man. Their relationship is like it's when people use the word toxic and you're just like, well, everybody says that. Yeah. It's like one of those words where you're just like, I'm fucking sick of hearing that word, and it never applies. Bro, this is a problem. This is
like, what we're talking about.
This is an issue. This is not good.
Right.
Like every day, it just feels like there's verbal shit. There's video out there. There's the physical stuff. She's like hitting him and just saying all this stuff, and we're all just watching, bro. We're all just like yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I feel like we are all that. We feel like we're. What's the Kitty Genovese? Is that her? It was like this apartment complex watched a woman get murdered because nobody would be the one to call because they all thought somebody else was going to call. Because the guy chased this woman down and stabbed her over and over, and it was like everybody was watching and didn't do anything. But what do you do? How do you deal with this? Do you think Chrisean and I mean maybe Kanye? I think he's single.
Yeah. He can bob and weave. No, I don't know, dude. It's hard with these rappers. It's hard with these rappers, bro. Like there's a question of like how are they raised? There's a question of drug use. There's a question of there's so much, but like it is a bit like the Ye thing where we're all just like, I guess we're just gonna watch this, and no one's gonna do anything, and that's creepy. That's weird to me.
The thing that freaked me out about the Kanye thing was nobody would believe him when he would say things. He would repeat it over and over. He would say, "I like Nazis." Oh, Kanye doesn't like Nazis. And you're like, I think he does. He likes Hitler. He says it like 3 or 4 times.
It's just
denies the Holocaust multiple times.
He says, "I like." He's like, I don't think he denies the Holocaust. I think he acknowledged. Does he deny? Let me make sure let me fact check.
Yeah.
What he does is he trolls, denies Holocaust. Because what he did. Because I remember he chose his words carefully. I was watching him on Alex Jones, which was hilarious. Because when Alex Jones has to say to you, "Hey, could you fucking chill for just a second?" Like when Alex Jones says that to you,
fucking up.
You're. It's just like when Alex is like, "You don't mean that, right?" Like that's something. Yeah. So no, I don't see anything. Jewish. Okay. So Pope Francis condemns Holocaust denial. Kanye West, does he actually advocates fear of anti-Semitism? I don't know if he in a guest appearance on Kanye praised Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then he lost a bunch of yeah. What did he see? Well, I see good things about Hitler. So he didn't. So I don't think he denied the. I think what he's doing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's trolling white people. There's 2 choices. Either he's crazy, and because if he's crazy, that's on us. Because we're just letting a crazy man do whatever, right? And if we're saying like, well, he has so much influence, but we also know that he's crazy. That's like the reason why we ignore crazy schizophrenics on the street is because they don't have any power. But if as soon as they have power, like as soon as they have a gun in their hand, suddenly we're really interested in dealing with them.
Yeah.
This guy has a lot of power, and no one seems kind of like the Krishan, Blueface situation.
The Joker. The guy's crazy, but he has a fucking shitload of goons after him. I mean, I guess I'm worried about the Kanye part. It was like there is this anti-Semitism, which I think is fat. It's just fucking weird. It's the Jews aren't really Jewish. Other people are Jewish, or like there's this Christian nationalism or Christian identity where it's white people that think that they're actually the real Jewish people, and that that people that are Jewish are not. It's fucking bananas.
So you're gonna have to help me with this. Yeah, you got to send me this because I don't know what this is. Because he's
okay.
He's a wild boy. He's a wild boy.
It basically boils down to
go on.
Everybody has heard Jewish people are the chosen ones from God. They're like the first ones to take that title. Now, Christianity, you can't say that isn't real because it's the first part of your book. The Bible, the first part's all Jewish people, and then it's like now we have to figure out some way that I am now the chosen person and they are not the chosen people. And so then they come up with these weird fucking lies to tell themselves, no. There was a lost tribe of Egypt, and that's actually white people. Those
okay. I see what you're talking about. That's what you're doing. That's it. I don't know.
All the rest of these Jewish people
there's a great Eric. Yeah. There's a great Eric Andre sketch where he does like have you seen? There's a sketch of him and Wyatt Cenac, who I really like. That he's in that sketch as well. I think Hannibal Buress is in that sketch, and they're basically Wyatt's great, and they're pretending to be those guys, and they're like what do they say? They're like there's like another crazy guy on the other side of the street, and that crazy guy is saying like, "Oh, I'm Jesus," and they're like, "Oh, if you're Jesus, why don't you turn your poop into wine, huh?" Jesus, it's that level of like, you know what I mean? Just like defiant crazy. That's. But with Ye, I sometimes I wonder. So two things with Ye. One, he's. I wish he wouldn't do that shit because, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I really do like Jews. I really do, man. Like it's just absolute true story. Absolutely Jew story. Haha. When I was growing up, I had some issues with my folks, and a Jewish family took me in for a while. So like it really hurts. I don't want them ever to be in danger. So there's that. And then number two, I don't know if he's just fucking around. The thing with like the thing with like bipolar disorder is that like it's not like ADD where like when you take Vyvanse D, it brings you up so you can operate. Right. Yeah, like it brings you up where you can operate, right? The whole point of meds, I think, when you're bipolar, is like just to take you down from that. Right. And who wants to come down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a condenser. It's this to limit the arc of your fucking. Instead of going all the way up to here, we're gonna fucking bring you up, and then we're gonna pull you straight across, and all of that crazy shit up here, it's fucking subdued. That all those impulses
and from the perspective of the crazy, exactly, and from the perspective of the crazy person or the someone who's manic, you're like, I shouldn't say crazy. The manic person, you're like, why would I want to? I feel amazing. I feel great. I don't want to come down.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to come down. So like, there's not even like an incentive for you. That's the thing. That's why I wonder if Ye just is saying shit just to provoke people, because it's funny to him. You know,
I mean,
I don't know.
Is it? I mean, I guess I guess I'm falling back on. I believe he says this. I'm going to believe him until he tells me, because he's hanging out with was it Nick Fuentes, who is just straight up a fucking Nazi.
That is rough. That shit was rough.
Yeah. Nick Fuentes is a fascist. He wants to have religion rule America, and he doesn't think women should have choices. You know, all the bad things. He has those opinions.
That's rough. Yeah.
And he's sitting right next to
Kanye, but that's the thing. Like
Kanye.
but that's the thing that's like. That's what reminds. That's why this Blueface thing is so like crazy to me. Is like, again, it reminds me. I don't know if you paid close attention to like the Whitney Houston stuff back in the day, but like it's the same thing with Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown and like the violence that they like had. Like we're dealing with people who are deeply unwell, and we're just consuming it like animals.
Yeah,
and we're not doing anything to help these people. And that's weird to me, bro. Remember, I don't know.
It happened to Britney Spears. Shaved her head and fucking slapped all those reporters with a fucking umbrella. Which was really funny. It was really funny to watch her do that.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
Yes. Because it was unexpected. We did, even when she got out and she's not fucking started going crazy. And then she just starts going fucking ham on these reporters. Hilarious. I didn't expect it. And then it was thrilling. Is she, will she, won't she? And then she does, and wow. Surprising all around. It was a great joke. I'm sorry that moment happened.
No. It's funny, but the thing with this stuff is that, like, are we contributing to it by watching it? Or is it like when you're like, you know, you're on the highway and you're just like there's like there's a wreck and you're just like, everyone's slowing down. Like we don't have to slow down on a highway. That's a choice that we've all made to see what's
right.
We could just mind our own goddamn business and keep it going, but we don't. We just like look at it and then go like, and then we say to the person, next person, you see that traffic accident? Did you see and we talk about it. And I don't know if that's just a human. It's like, and like this chick that he's with, this chick Chrisean that he was with, or he is with. I think she's pregnant now. That's a whole other can of worms. So now you're watching a couple beat the living hell out of each other. One of them's pregnant, and apparently this chick used to be a track star. She looks completely different. I wish I could. Let me show you the pic. Let me send you the picture, like of the before and after of this chick before she met a Blueface. Chrisean before Blueface. It auto populates. That's so funny. That's really sad. Here she is. I'm gonna send it to you on WhatsApp. All right. There we go. This is her before Blueface, or BB, as the kids say. Just fucking. Sorry, hang on. I'm old.
What you were saying while you're looking that up, I want to get back to one thing you said. You said that maybe us watching is somehow enabling this, or is a part of it. And I think maybe it's possible because I was listening to something about hypnotism, and you know, where they do these like stage hypnosis things, and it's like, what causes you know, what makes you want to continue doing the thing? You become suggestible, and it was like, well, possibly it's interesting. You've gone along with this charade the whole time. You know, you felt like, I want to do that. You know, I'll act like I'm cold, and or I act like I'm really hot, and then as it goes on, you know, it now everybody's watching you, and they all think you're hypnotized. So if you fucking say, I'm just fucking around, I wasn't hypnotized, and they're like, then why'd you do all the rest of the shit? So with this huge audience, everybody's like, you're like, well, I can't fucking stop now because otherwise I'll look like a fucking asshole. So
well, I said there might be something to that. Yeah, bro, look at her before.
Tattoo.
She used to be a track star.
Oh,
bro. But look how beautiful she is. Look like this is an objectively
she looks like a model.
Beautiful woman. Yeah. Right. I don't know what happened. I don't know. And that's not like a bad picture. Like if I send you more picture. Yeah, that's what happened. Love is what happened. Yeah, man.
Will fuck you up.
That is no matter how handsome the face tattooed man is. Yeah, man. It's a shame. It's a real shame. And I speaking from someone who came from like a relationship that was very turmoil, or was a relationship that was filled with turmoil. If this chick really is pregnant and it's not one of those stupid Hollywood publicity stunts, don't do it. Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse.
Get an abortion.
There's nothing worse you can. There's nothing worse you can do to it, or separate. Or someone needs to come in and separate them, because there's nothing worse you can do to a kid than
have them.
Yeah.
Than have them.
Yeah. So
make them live
in that environment. I thought you were just going to stop at have them. There's nothing worse than having children.
Yeah. Having those children grow up is bad.
Yeah, man.
Life is pain.
So yeah.
If you end life, in pain.
Let's end on that. Yeah. That's remember, kids, life is pain. Derek's at Derek Smith Comedy. You can hit him up. This is what I guess we're going to end on. If you really want to reach, in all seriousness, if you want to, this has been Raisin Bread Podcast. If you want to reach Derek, don't just reach out to me. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Instagram. Do those things. But if you really want to talk to him, don't even bother. Just hit me up, and I'll facilitate that and make sure things work out for. He will do your show. And hit me up. Follow me on Baz, or on Instagram as Baz Does His Thing. Follow me on Twitter, Hafrican Hodl. That's HALFRICAN HODL. And follow us both. Follow Ben. He's still part of the show. Ben is still part of the show. Okay, he hasn't left. We're just dealing with some internal stuff. We love you, Ben. And we're excited to have you back when we can. And definitely check out the videos that I am pointing to. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys again.